April 8, 2025, Interstate 40, somewhere between Oklahoma City and Little Rock. An Arkansas State Police cruiser eased in behind a white Transnational Freight Services semi-truck for what should have been a routine DOT inspection. No lights, no sirens, no urgency. Just standard compliance on a highway that sees tens of thousands of trucks every day. The driver pulled over immediately. 6 years with the company, clean CDL record, no violations. His paperwork was complete, his logbooks current, his posture calm enough to avoid suspicion. The manifest listed industrial machinery components headed east toward Memphis. Weight, routing, and seal numbers all matched. Under normal circumstances, the stop would have ended there. Before we continue with this operation, if you can take a quick second, YouTube is not the biggest fan of content like this, but we believe people deserve to hear the truth. If you agree, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us beat the algorithm and keep going. We really appreciate the support. As part of a newer DOT pilot program, inspectors ran a mobile density scanner along the trailer's interior walls. The system wasn't designed to hunt narcotics directly. It flagged inconsistencies, empty voids where solid cargo should exist. When the scan passed the left wall, the reading dipped just enough to trigger a secondary review. According to the manifest, the load should have weighed more, 400 pounds more. Inspectors marked the section and requested authorization to breach. When the cutting tool broke through reinforced paneling, it didn't reveal insulation or dead space. It revealed precision-built compartments welded directly into the trailer's frame. Seamless welds, hydraulic latches, industrial fabrication that looked engineered, not improvised. Inside were tightly wrapped bricks of cocaine stacked floor to ceiling inside the false wall. 340 kilograms, estimated street value $12 million. The driver didn't resist. He didn't argue. He sat down on the shoulder, removed his gloves, and stared at the pavement. After several minutes, he asked to speak to federal agents. What he told them didn't just explain the load, it exposed a system. The FBI assumed control quietly. No alerts, no contact with Transnational Freight Services, no warrants served yet. The cooperating driver explained how certain routes paid more than others, how dispatch calls came late at night from secondary phones, how delivery windows shifted without explanation. Drivers who questioned assignments stopped getting work. Drivers who complied received consistent routes and cash bonuses paid through third-party logistics contractors that never appeared on payroll statements. Investigators subpoenaed 3 years of shipping records and began analyzing patterns instead of shipments. Certain trucks cycled repeatedly through the same warehouses regardless of cargo type. Manifests never quite aligned with weight logs. Deliveries occurred during hours when legitimate operations should have been closed. Financial analysts traced corporate ownership to a 2022 sale worth $850 million to an investment group called American Logistics Partners, LLC. On paper, it was a clean acquisition. In reality, it was a shell corporation controlled by the Sinaloa Cartel. The purchase money originated from drug proceeds laundered through Mexican construction firms, Chinese underground banking networks, and cryptocurrency exchanges before re-entering the US as legitimate investment capital. Once the sale closed, nothing changed on the surface. Trucks kept rolling. Customers noticed no disruption. Safety scores remained pristine. That normalcy was the camouflage. Drugs crossed the border through cartel-controlled corridors and arrived at Transnational's El Paso warehouse, quietly converted into an intake hub. 32 warehouse employees were on cartel payroll. Narcotics were loaded into modified trailers alongside legitimate freight and assigned to specific drivers, 89 of them, who knew exactly what they were hauling and exactly what would happen if they talked. Those trucks moved across the country to transnational warehouses in Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Houston, Dallas, Charlotte, Memphis, and 11 other cities. At each stop, cartel-aligned warehouse staff extracted the drugs, redistributed them locally, and reloaded clean cargo. Trucks left looking untouched. Over 5 years, this network moved an estimated 180 tons of cocaine, 45 tons of methamphetamine, and 8 tons of fentanyl across American highways without triggering major enforcement action. The cartel believed the system was untouchable. They had contingency plans for traffic stops, lost shipments, even arrested drivers. What they didn't anticipate was long-term pattern analysis. When the FBI began expanding surveillance, the cartel sensed pressure. Routes shifted slightly, delivery windows tightened, drivers were instructed to rotate trailers more frequently. Some warehouses paused operations entirely for weeks at a time. Those pauses, intended as defensive measures, only sharpened the pattern. GPS trackers were installed on suspect trucks. Surveillance teams followed loads that bypassed legitimate customers and met known distributors instead. Undercover agents applied as drivers and were quietly approached with offers to make extra money on special runs. DEA wiretaps on Sinaloa operatives referenced shipment schedules that matched transnational delivery windows exactly. Analysts noticed something else. Whenever enforcement activity spiked near a warehouse, shipments rerouted within hours. The cartel was watching, but they were reacting, not controlling. Internal fractures began forming. Some drivers wanted out, others pushed for higher payouts. A mechanic refused to modify another trailer and disappeared from the schedule. A dispatcher delayed a run without authorization. Small failures began stacking. By June 2025, the picture was complete. 89 drivers knowingly transporting drugs, 23 warehouses acting as distribution hubs. Corporate ownership traced directly to cartel shell companies. More than $2.4 billion in narcotics moved through American infrastructure. The arrests had to be simultaneous. If one driver warned another, the network would scatter. On July 15, 2025, at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, Operation Rolling Thunder went live across 18 states. GPS trackers confirmed positions in real time. At exactly 5:03 a.m., agents moved everywhere at once. Trucks were stopped on interstates. Drivers were arrested at rest stops, in driveways, and at loading docks. Warehouses were breached. False walls came down. Mechanics who built hidden compartments were taken into custody. Dispatch coordinators assigning drug routes were arrested mid-shift at their desks. By mid-afternoon, all 89 drivers were in federal custody. 23 warehouses were secured. 12 company insiders were arrested. Seized that day were 18 tons of cocaine, 4 tons of methamphetamine, 680 kilograms of fentanyl, and $67 million in cash. Investigators documented compartment designs built into trailer walls, fuel tanks, and load-bearing structures, engineering meant to defeat standard inspections. The next morning, Attorney General Pamela Bondi stated, "Yesterday, federal law enforcement dismantled the largest commercial drug trafficking network in American history." Attorney General Pamela Bondi, she followed with, "The Sinaloa Cartel didn't infiltrate a trucking company, they purchased one." Attorney General Pamela Bondi. All 89 drivers were charged with federal trafficking and money laundering. 12 insiders faced continuing criminal enterprise charges carrying potential life sentences. 76 drivers accepted plea deals. 13 went to trial. Everyone was convicted. Transnational Freight Services filed for bankruptcy within days. President Donald Trump later stated, "The cartels thought they could buy an American company and turn our highways into their drug routes." They were wrong. By November 2025, interstate drug trafficking via commercial trucks had dropped 41%. Congress passed new corporate transparency laws. DOT expanded deep scan inspections nationwide. The FBI launched a permanent task force focused on cartel infiltration of legitimate businesses. Today, Transnational's former headquarters sits empty. The trucks are gone. The drivers are in prison. The system they tried to hijack is back under control. We'll keep tracking real operations like this as they unfold and bring you the truth behind them. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what comes next.